How's it going, guys? My name is Dave Pallets. I'm a full-time eBay reseller for 4 years now, and in this video I'm going to show you guys 33 overlooked items that people are passing up on every single day at thrift stores, Goodwills, garage sales, flea markets, you name it. With the 33 items that I'm going to be showing you guys can literally get all these 33 items and base a whole eBay business out of this. And I'm going to be dropping this video completely free. All I ask in return is for your guys' attention. Drop a thumbs up, comment, or subscribing. That is literally it. I'm giving out the sauce. I'm not holding back on anything in this video. Let's get into it.
I get that cash and I flip it, yeah. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah.
Alrighty guys, so the very first item that we're going to be talking about is actually the very most expensive, the best item that I've ever found in my eBay career. And honestly, I could not believe that this actually happened, but I picked it up for $100 at a flea market in the Bay Area in California. I saw it and it looked super weird, and it was actually not even set up how it was supposed to. There was 3 pieces, but they were all the same brands laid out at the flea market. And I saw it and it looked very interesting. I could not find it anywhere. There were 0 comps on eBay. The only way I was able to find this was on Google Lens, and I found the website for this item. The only place that is ever sold on was through the website. I couldn't find absolutely any information on how much it was. So what I did was I went on the website and I found like a quote number that I could call, and I called and I got a quote to buy one brand new. They were $35,000. So what I did, I put it up for $25,000, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, and I did not get that. 4 months passed and someone sent me a message, and they seemed very serious about buying the item, and they asked for many pictures of the inside, the outside, and all that stuff. And I immediately jumped on it and I immediately took it apart and asked for whatever they wanted, and then they offered me $9,000, and then it sold. And I actually did a local pickup, so that was the best item that I've ever sold, best flip ever. So if you guys see that, obviously pick it up, and not that one specifically, but other kinds of document scanners. That one specifically, what the guy told me, was for like an accounting office or a lawyer or government office or something like that, where you get a bunch of papers, you can run it through that machine and you can scan a bunch of documents very quickly. Types of document scanners are what you guys can try to see and find. Keep an eye out for those. I know that's not, no one really talks about that. So right off the bat, guys, I'm starting off hot. Not all the items are going to be thousands and thousands of dollars, but I want to give you guys that good juice. And if anyone finds that one or similar, I'm going to be asking for 10% of all royalties that are sold through this video, because I'm the one that showed you guys, okay? I'm just kidding, guys. If you guys sell it, literally just send me a DM and I'm happy for you guys. Right, guys, the next one is going to be hair dryers. I know it doesn't seem like it's that much, but I have sold many hair dryers. You're going to be looking out for brands like Dyson, Oster, and there's many other brands. I'm going to put a couple of the comps on here of just some that are out there. There are some way more expensive than others, but I would just search up most of them. Most of these items, there's 33 items that I'm going to be showing you guys, but it's 33 categories. So search up all hair dryers, because you never know what you can get. You can get a very expensive one. You get some that are $30 all day, $20 all day. You get it for $2-3, flip it for 25. You can get hundreds of those all the time. So be on the lookout for hair dryers. All the items I'm showing you guys today are not in any particular order. I just put the scanner at first, but nothing is more important than the other, because all these items are what I've based my entire eBay business off of for the last 4.5 years, and I've sold 20,000 items similar to all this stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys. The next one is going to be curling irons. All the list that I made for all this was off the top of my head. I didn't sit down and write for hours. It was off the top of my head of the stuff that I have sold in the past that I know you guys can easily find, and you guys can make some good money off of. So the next one is curling irons. It all depends on brands, but search up all curling irons. You guys can spend $2-3. I've gotten lucky and gotten some that are $70. There are some Dyson ones that are up to $400. So keep Dyson for the hair dryers, and the curling irons are amazing. All right, guys, so the next one is going to be kind of gross. Facial shavers like Braun, Remington, Panasonic. Facial shavers, electric ones that you can trim your beard with. Those are amazing. I honestly have sold probably 2,000 of them in my eBay lifespan, and I am not exaggerating. I literally have probably 500 listed right now. Those are an extreme bread and butter for me. And what I do, guys, I take off the top piece off and I sell it without it. And what I do is I get Clorox wipes or Clorox spray and I just clean the heck out of it. And I have paint brushes to get any little hairs or anything in there. And I just sell it as is without the top piece. And I carry a bunch of chargers to test them all out. I sell it without the top piece, but I sell them as working. And honestly, they jump off the shelf. Braun S9, Braun S10. You guys can go on my store and see what I have on there. But yeah, I've been selling a ton of handheld facial shavers for literally since I started on eBay, like literally thousands of them. All right, guys, so the next thing is gonna be hats. I have just started into hats, but like literally yesterday I shipped out 16 hats. Not all hats are built the same. Some are better than others, but for the most part, you can get very lucky. I just sold a San Jose Sharks one for $50. I sold a Disney one for $90. I sold a old vintage Ralph Lauren one for $40, all within 2 days. It's a hit or miss, but just at least search them up, Google Lens it, because you could be walking by some hats that you think are nothing and they could be good. The next one is gonna be remote controls. I have sold $200 remote controls and I have sold $8 remote controls. It varies, but search them all up. The older ones are very good, but also there are some newer ones, some newer brands like Savant. Look out for Savant. Literally drop a thumbs up just because I said that right now. I would really appreciate it. Savant, I have sold some for $300. There are some from that brand that are even $1,000 and have like a big screen and they're crazy. There are some Logitech Harmony ones. Drop a thumbs up for that one as well. Logitech Harmony ones are badass if they come with the hub. They're amazing. I have sold probably 3,000, probably 4,000 remote controls overall. Soundbar ones, fan ones, TV, video cassette remotes, radio remotes, literally just insane. They're super small. You get them for like $1. It's just, remotes have literally paid my bills for years. So the next one is something that is kind of obvious, but video game consoles and older ones can be really good. I just picked up a PlayStation 1 complete for $5. I'm expecting to sell it for $50. Keep an eye out, guys. PS2 ones, PS3, Xbox 360, not so much. Obviously Nintendo 64, stuff like that. Sega ones, they're not crazy, but if you get them for a good price, they're fast sellers. And usually guys pick them up to resell as well, or they refurbish them so you can sell them for parts or not working as well. Nintendo 64s, GameCubes, Game Boy Advance. I've sold all that kind of stuff. Those have been paying my bills for years. Alrighty, guys, so the next one is going to be shoes. Obviously shoes, I just started, but I can see where it's going, and I can see that they're going to be a very consistent thing that I'm going to start selling on a very regular basis. And I don't get hype shoes. I don't get Jordans. I don't get expensive shoes. While I do get expensive shoes, I don't base my entire shoe model off of a very expensive shoes. I get the everyday value shoes that go for 40, they go for 50, they go for 30, and I get them very cheap. $5 into $35 is very good, and you can do that all day. Go for Asics, go for Nike, go for Adidas, go for Reebok, go for everyday value, New Balance, and get them for a cheap price. You can find those. You can find $1,030 pairs of shoes all day. You can only find so many Air Jordan 1s retros, right? If I go to the flea market one day, I'll probably find two $200 pairs of shoes. I'll probably find a $530 pairs of shoes, and for a much cheaper price. So keep an eye out for that. All right, guys, so the next one is going to be something that I just sold right now, and I have been selling for a while as well. And they're going to be OEM original key fobs for cars. Acura, Toyota, Lexus, Ford, Jeep, you name it, Chrysler, Audi, Mercedes. You guys can literally go down the list. Any single car, every single car nowadays has a key fob, old or new. And basically the original ones are the ones you want to look for, not the imitation ones. It's kind of easy to tell. Look at your key fob. You more than likely have the original, but you can buy ones that are not original. And it's very important, if you guys list them and find them, put OEM in the title. That shoots the price up very high. I've sold Toyota ones for up to $80, guys, and they're super small, easy to ship, and they pretty much always work. You can put a new battery and the light flash red, and those have been a killing for me for years. And people sometimes just sell them, the storage unit people at flea markets, and they sell them for $1 to $3 for the key fobs. I've done deals where I see people that have a bunch of key fobs, and I just buy them all because I know there's no way you can miss. They might not sell extremely fast, but some of them do, but they sell for great profit. All right, so the next one is going to be kind of tricky because I have done great with printers and I've also done bad with printers. You guys are going to have to check every single individual model and see if it is worth it for you guys to ship, and to make sure that they work. And also you guys have to make sure whether they have ink or not before you ship it out. When I first started, it was a nightmare. I shipped out a bunch of printers because I was making like $100 immediately, and I was getting them for like $5. But I would ship them out and they'd break. The inside part that scans the papers is a nightmare. I've literally, in the last couple times I've shipped out printers, it's all been good because of what I learned. But if you're just starting out, you might not pack it the best way possible, and they break, or the ink spills out because you try to include the ink that's already in there, because sometimes they're almost full, but then with the shipping, the ink explodes, and that's not a happy customer. You get a negative feedback. Some printers are really good if you pack it correctly, if you take out the ink and all that stuff. So keep an eye out, guys. I've sold some printers up to $500, some 100 all day, 80 all day, 60 all day, and those are easy to find. You can find them pretty much anywhere. So the next one is going to be something that is kind of the same thing. It's a hit or miss. Definitely okay if you guys test it. If you guys test it, there's no worries. Just pack it up very well. But the next one is going to be DVD VCR combos / receivers, I guess you can say. Receivers, I'm going to throw that into that category so I don't take up too much space on the list. But DVD VCR combos are literally so dope. Like, I started off going to this one guy that would do dollar days, and I'd go to his electronics section when I first started, and you literally search them up and they're $180, $200. But I wouldn't test stuff out back in the day, and half of them would work, half wouldn't. But the ones that worked, it was like I paid $1 and I sold it for $180 within the same week. It's just like insane. If you guys can buy a bunch, test them all out, it's big money. It's amazing, you know. And honestly, I've sold so many of those, and they're super cool. So keep an eye out. The receivers as well, make sure they all work, because if not, it's going to be a nightmare. If they don't work, guys, don't worry. You can sell them for parts if they don't work. Put a DVD in there, put a VCR in there, test out the receiver. If they don't work, you can sell them for at least 60% of what the value is pre-owned, and someone else can fix it. Just literally put that you tested it out and it didn't work. I've sold thousands of receivers and big items like that as not working for literally years, thousands of them. Trust me. Alrighty, guys, so we are like, I don't know, like 10 in, and if you guys haven't dropped a thumbs up, come on, you guys got to do it right now. I turned off the AC in here. It is 105 degrees outside, and I put a lot of effort into recording this and to waking up extra early to be able to record this after work. So if you guys haven't subscribed or dropped a like, do it right now. Guys, so the next one is going to be something that I think people on YouTube are starting to wake up to. Canon PowerShot cameras. Those are something that's been a staple for me, and it's a nice treat when I do a bulk buy and there's a bunch in there, or I buy one-offs. But those are something that I'm going to continue to get till this day. I do mainly clothing now, but if I see a Canon PowerShot for 20 bucks, 5 bucks, 10 bucks, those are super good. There's a tons of different models, but for the most part, they're when I first started 4 years ago, they were not what they are now. Back in the day, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, 70 bucks. Now, the ones that used to be 60 bucks are now 180 for some reason. I think it's just, it's coming back to use those. Like, my little sister has one. The pictures look really cool. I think a lot of the younger kids are starting to buy those. So those are super hot. Search up the model specifically. I guess so the next one is also going to be in the camera category, but DSLR cameras, point and shoot ones are very good. Some of them, search up the model number, search up the comps. For the most part, I've found maybe a handful of these at the flea market. I've gotten really lucky. Normally people that have the super high quality ones know what they're selling. They bought it for themselves. You're not going to come across those and buy it for $5. But sometimes you can come across them, find them for $100, sell them for $600. You can get lucky. I've gotten lucky in the past. It's not every single day, but maybe if you didn't know, now you know. DSLR cameras, bigger ones. I'm going to put a couple pictures right here. They're really, really good. Alrighty, guys, so I just started doing clothes. One thing that has been really good so far is winter snow jackets. Obviously, it all depends on the brand and the sizes, but for the most part, I've found very good high quality ones that are $100, $200, $300. I think it's going to be a very consistent thing that I'm going to be able to find. And if you guys didn't know, now you know. Go look out for winter jackets, search them up, see the sizes, and see how much they are. All right guys, so this is something that I just picked up over the weekend, but I did know about it, but now I'm in the clothing category and it finally came across my way. But I picked up some scuba suits. Some scuba suits are insane, but for the most part, even the cheaper ones are $50, $60, $80. The bigger, the better, and if it's the whole body, the better. I have some that are just the vest. If you guys look out for those, it could be big money, and honestly, you can kind of find them anywhere. So the next thing that's a big bread and butter for me now that I do clothing and shoes is gonna be golf attire. Golf pants, golf shoes, golf shirts, golf shorts, and golf hats are something that I'm buying a lot of. It's selling like hotcakes. It all depends on the brand, but Nike, Peter Millar, Summer Comfort, Callaway, Titleist, FootJoy, all those are good brands that you guys can be looking out for. Not all of them are built the same, but if you guys just start searching them up, you guys can come across some very good ones. Tiger Woods' line with Nike is very good as well. And you guys can just literally look out. New Balance, golf stuff, the shoes. So if you guys come across those are very good as well. There's a lot of different new brands like Rowback. And there's literally so many I can't even name, but search them up. Search anything that looks like golf and you might come across some insane stuff. Alrighty guys, so this is something else that is new, but I have noticed that it's gonna be a very good and profitable thing for me to start getting, and you guys can look out for. It's gonna be blazers and sport coats. It all depends on the brands, it all depends on the materials. Some are gonna be cashmere, some are gonna be wool, some are gonna be the dress up ones. And it all depends on the brand, but look them up. I have gotten very shocked at the ones I came across just by looking at my thrift store. There's like 80 in a row, and I have looked through some, and literally out of 10 that I look up, 3 I'm taking home with me that are $80 a pop. Keep a lookout for those, do your research and check them each out. Not all of them are good. Check them all out, guys, and honestly, they are very good. So the next thing was a shocker for me when I first started, but Italian made goods. I'm gonna go with Italian made clothing, Italian made leather, loafers, shoes, dress shoes, belts, anything Italian. Not everything is the same, but for the most part, just look it up on the brand and all that stuff, and you guys will be shocked at some of the stuff that I have came across and that you guys can come across if you guys just at least search it up. Sometimes you see made in Italy and you guys might ignore it. Just at least search it up, and it's gonna give you guys a fighting chance, because if you don't even search it up, you won't know. And there's been a couple things that I have found that are made in Italy and are leather or crocodile or ostrich, and it is very, very good. All right guys, so the next thing is something that literally transformed my eBay business when I was doing electronics. 4 parts or not working items. I can't even describe like how much that changed everything. There's so much stuff that does not work, guys, that people will literally almost throw away or sell it extremely cheap because it's broken. There's Beats headphones that the earmuff might be broken off and people will literally throw it away. But sometimes you can get lucky and find a bunch of stuff that's broken, and just trust me guys, you can get almost half the value of a certain item literally not working. There's a market for that. Half of my store, half of the 27,000 items that I've sold in my store have probably been 4 parts not working, and I am not exaggerating. It is literally insane. It changed everything for me. And if you guys get into that game, just make sure you guys put it in the title, description, and in the item condition. That's all you have to do. And for the most part, yeah, you might get some returns even after you do all that, but for the most part, it's easy money, guys. Like with the VCRs, like with the, I've gotten blow dryers with the cord cut, sold it for parts, you know. There's some Dyson curling irons that were broken, sold it for parts. Security cameras broken, sold it for parts. Remote controls, Savant remote controls that are $500, selling for 104 parts. It's crazy, guys. Keep an eye out. Literally drop a thumbs up just for that. For the people that have been following me, you guys know, but that is insane in the electronic world. 4 parts not working. A lot of people don't know you can do that. It works. The next thing is going to be vintage Disney items. Those Disney adults don't play around about their Disney products. My most expensive hat so far was a Disney hat, and it sold for like $80 or $90 within 1 day. I started looking into it, and the Disney market is popping if it's vintage. So definitely keep an eye out for the vintage Disney items. The next one is going to be industrial barcode scanners. It's not going to be like the very first one I told you guys. Those are like document scanners. These are going to be barcode scanners. If you guys start paying attention to what people scan at the grocery stores, I have literally probably sold every single scanner that you guys have seen in the grocery stores, at Costco, at literally any store, Walmart, Target. It's very common that people use the same thing, and a lot of mom and pop shops, sometimes they buy them on eBay. Sometimes for inventory, a lot of big companies, the bigger scanners are used to find product, to keep track of their inventory. But some have been very, very insane. Some have been very normal. But for the most part, Symbol, Zebra, Data Logic, stuff like that, guys. I'm gonna put a couple comps up. Those are very, very good. Keep an eye out for those. The weirder they look, the more buttons they have, the better. All right, guys, so the next thing is gonna be Walkie Talkies, UHF, VHF. Those are, some are good, some are bad, some are amazing. So literally, it's all about searching up the brand and the model number, and that's how you're gonna find out whether they're good or not. Maybe you weren't even looking up Walkie Talkies, but I'm telling you guys, some will surprise you. Some are crazy, and even if they're not crazy, they're still gonna be $30 and you might pay $5. So keep an eye out, guys. There's literally money everywhere. I think we're like 20 in, so drop a thumbs up. All right, guys, so the next one is gonna be commercial business headsets. My favorite brand to sell is Plantronics and also Jabra. Plantronics and Jabra are one of the best ones, but I would suggest even searching up other brands that you guys see. Just search, if you guys see a headset, small or big, or go over the ear, that are used like at call centers. I have literally sold thousands of these, thousands. I've done $1,000 deals on just bulk buying on those headsets, but they're literally everywhere. The wireless ones are better. There are some that are wired, they're still good. They're gonna be $20 all day, $30 all day. Some of them are $80 all day, but Plantronics, Jabra, and there's this other brand that's a BOLO that you guys have to drop a like for, just because I'm dropping that one in as well. It's a blue Parrot. That one is very good. If you guys see it, just pick it up. For the most part, if it's in working condition, $50, $30, 55, like immediately. So blue Parrot, Jabra, and Plantronics, keep an eye out for those. So the next one is gonna be credit card reader terminals. And that is the thing that you put your credit card into when you guys are buying something. If you guys noticed, I sell a lot of stuff that businesses use, and the people that have a lot of money are the businesses. So I don't know, it was by coincidence that this worked out, but I like picking that kind of stuff up. Barcode scanners, headsets, credit card terminals, scanners, that kind of stuff is really good. But credit card terminals, some are very, very good. The Motorola Symbols, Clover, there's a bunch of them, but just search them up. There's some called Verifone. Those are in the lower end. There's another one called Ignacio, F400, I believe. That one's really good. That one's like $60 if I'm not mistaken on the model number, but literally just start searching them up. All right, guys, so the next one is going to be Wi-Fi routers. You guys have to be careful. Sometimes they were never returned and they are locked with a client, but if they are not locked with a client, some can be very good. The more abstract they look, the more modern they look, the better. Some older ones are going to be $15, $10, $20, not much, but if you pick them up for $1, it turns into a great buy. And I have sold thousands of Wi-Fi routers, thousands of Wi-Fi extenders as well. Wi-Fi extenders are hot, they're quick, they're easy to ship, and they're only like a couple bucks if you guys find them. So Wi-Fi routers and Wi-Fi extenders, depending on the brand and model number, like I always say, and if they have the power cord, you guys can still sell them without the power cord. Just mention that in the description. So the next thing is going to be something new that, like I said, I am just doing clothing, but I've always kind of known, I've always been a fan of the NFL, but anything NFL, hats, jackets, team apparel is honestly so good. Jerseys, It's so hot. The season's around the corner. Load up on some NFL stuff, guys. When I've gone to NBA games, I've gone to NFL games, and I've never gone to an MLB game. I know MLB is not on their tier anymore. It used to be, but I've gone to NBA games, and you see people dressed normally. You go to an NFL game, every single person in there has something with the team logo. The NFL is logo driven and team driven. The NBA is more individual person. Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. It's more for the person. The NFL is more brand of each team. The New York Jets, the Dallas Cowboys, the 49ers. Search up, if you guys don't know about the NFL, look up the individual teams, and you guys will be shocked at how quick stuff flies during the season. It's more logo driven and team driven, and the NBA is more individual driven. Alrighty guys, so this is something that when I first started, me and my buddy Colin Hayes, if you guys know him from the channel, when we first started, we went and found an Apple laptop that was like green, almost see-through, and he listed up for $2,000 and it sold immediately. And that's when we found out about vintage Apple products. Vintage Apple products are super cool. You guys can go with the iPod shuffles and the iPod nanos and all that kind of stuff, but the computers are really where the money's at. Obviously, I've sold a ton of iPod classics. At one point I had like 400 iPods overall listed. I've sold literally thousands of them, and that stuff is really good. I consider it vintage now, but the laptops, the old ones, the more obscure they look, the older they look, and if they work, forget about it, guys. They can be some big money and they can sell very quickly. Obviously, even new Apple products, like, come on, like Apple is just ridiculous. It flies off the shelf. So, but vintage ones is more likely to come by because, you know, no one's accidentally selling an iPhone 15 by accident, you know. So yeah, guys, Apple products. Alrighty guys, so this is something that I just kind of started selling recently because I had them way too priced, but at one point I had a bunch of circuit breakers, bigger ones. I'm gonna put some up right here. Some of them can be very expensive. It all depends on the voltage and the wattage and all that stuff. But I just shipped them out, some out to Canada, some out here in the US. And I have sold many locally through like Facebook Marketplace. But circuit breakers are very good. You guys have to search them up. Not all are built the same. There's different models. I'm not gonna lie and I'm not gonna throw brands out, but I know the more voltage and stuff and the bigger they are, the better. So keep an eye out for circuit breakers. The next one is gonna be sunglass frames. This is something that I started on 10 years ago, like kind of knowing about it. But some sunglass frames that are prescription, you can take out the prescription. You can just sell the frames alone. You can sell Ray-Ban frames if they're legit. You can sell just the Oakley frames. There's tons of brands. I'm not gonna act like I know a lot about it, but I know there's some good money in sunglass frames. You guys can find them pretty much everywhere as well. Flea markets, thrift stores. There's a ton out there for you guys to look for. So yeah, guys, keep an eye out for it. All brands. Don't overlook anything. Search everything up. All right, guys. The last one is going to be something I've sold a lot of, and it's going to be Dyson products overall. Dyson fans, Dyson hair dryers, curling irons, Dyson vacuums, mainly Dyson vacuums. I've sold probably at least 1,000, 1,200 Dyson vacuums, Dyson remotes, anything Dyson. Search it up and take it home. For the most part, it's going to be worth it. Depending on how much you get it for, but for the most part you can find it pretty cheap, especially if they're the remotes. All the stuff I'm saying that I have mentioned, it all depends on how much you pay for it. I try to pay 10% of what the item goes for, just because I can be very picky. I hardly ever pay 50%, because at 50% eBay is going to take 20, and then taxes is going to be another 20. What are you left with? You're left with 10% of what the profit is. You know, I'm not going to do 50%. I'm just not going to do that, and it's not even worth my time because I'm very picky. If you guys want to do that, if it's $1,000 item, it's 1,000 and you pay 500, I guess that's a little different. It all depends on how you want to run your business, but for the most part, I wouldn't even do that. For me personally, I'd rather have $1,030 items compared to a $1,000 item. All my sales, I have had hundreds of $1,000 items, guys, and they don't sell nearly as quickly as I can sell $1,000 worth of $30 items. Trust me, it is a lot easier to sell $1,000 worth of $30 items compared to $1,000 item. I have couple $1,000 items listed right now. I have $1,000 watch. Who knows when I'm going to sell that? Obviously, if I could just get $1,000 watches all day, every day, $1,000 pieces, then yeah, screw it. But they're not easy to come by. I'm going to get that stuff if I see it, but I'm not going to base my entire business on that. I'm going to base my store and my business on a $30 average sale price, $25 average sale price, and sell thousands of those. So yeah, guys, that is it. 33 items that people are probably overlooking. Maybe it was you. If this helped you guys, comment down below. If you guys want to see another one like this, if this video gets 500 likes, I'll do a part 2 with 100 freaking items, and it's going to be a long video, but it has to get 500 likes, guys. So if you guys appreciate this is just off the top of my head. Sat down for a little bit and wrote these down, but there's a lot of stuff up here, especially in the electronic category, and I'm learning a lot in clothing, and I put a lot of effort in this video. Just literally, this is the longest video I've ever done with a list. Normally I'm like, oh, five items that sell good, but put a lot more effort. So follow me on Instagram, guys. If you guys need a VA, hit me up. And yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys later.